We must have been about 8. My parents had taken us to see the annual lighting of the pier for Christmas in Manhattan Beach. Santa Claus, various elves, and mistletoe were strewn about, even though it was about 60 degrees. Suddenly, Annie turned to me. "You know the Santa Claus isn't real," she said coolly. My mom's eyes widened, fearing the worst, that her daughter might learn the heartbreaking truth. "The real Santa Claus is at the mall," she finished. I can think of about a million stories that start with, "So this one time with Annie." I guess she is just that person to me, the one that has been there by my side for as long as I can remember. From my first day of preschool until now, Annie Curran has been undoubtedly my very best friend, and I couldn't ask for a better one. How to explain our relationship, I'll never quite know. But I do know I was often referred to as the fourth Curran girl. Mrs. Curran, my second mom, would lead 4 little girls to an American Girl tea party or to the country club pool. She always reminded me of a mother duck, trailed by energetic ducklings. People always think of Annie as shy or quiet, but I've always known the truth. Annie is by far one of the loudest, craziest, and most entertaining girls I have ever met. I always tell people, just wait until you get to know her. After preschool, we never attended the same school again. I guess it was easily probable that we would go our separate ways, but we were already 2 peas in a pod, inseparable. We spent nearly every weekend together, even into our middle school years, and whether we were building a haunted house or making millions at a lemonade stand, we were always having fun. Until I moved, I don't think she ever missed one of my birthday parties, and we spent every Halloween together. Some of my fondest memories include us scrambling around Hermosa Beach, trying to find that old man that gave out Beanie Babies instead of candy. In elementary school, we found a passion for talk shows. I was always the host, and Annie played the role of every guest. She had been Martha Stewart, Donald Trump, you name it, but her favorite role was always the fictional pop star we named T.T. Lottie. We'd spend hours planning costumes and doing run-throughs until the show was perfect. Then we'd ask our parents to watch. It's impossible to even begin to count the number of shows we've put them through. And if it wasn't a talk show, it was our Broadway version of Annie. Annie was always Annie, and I was always Miss Hannigan. Her younger twin sisters that I've known since infancy, Liza and Sophie, would argue over who got to be Molly, and the other would beg to play the dog, until we convinced her she had to be Daddy Warbucks. We'd hang curtains made of blankets and drag furniture from all over the house to act as the perfect prop. In the summers, we were at the beach. When we were younger, Annie was a lot more cautious of the big waves and going in too deep. I was always the one pushing to go out further. We would call out whether we were going to dive under or take our chances over top of the wave. We even managed to choreograph an entire dance in the Pacific Ocean to Life is a Highway. When we got cold, we'd run back to the dry, hot sand nearest the boardwalk and talk. As we grew older, we started to use technology to our advantage. We've made quite a few music videos, some of which I believe are quite good. In the process, we've jumped off lifeguard towers, met new friends in the park, ridden motorized scooters, almost crashed bikes, and waved signs around in the street. But the memories are endless. We were on each other's first 2 soccer teams, the Blue Dolphins and the Green Mean Fighting Machine. Annie was there when I fell into the muddy pond at our father-daughter campout, and on the family vacations water skiing in Northern California. I threw up on her once after we ran a 5K, but she got me back in the back seat of a church van on the way to camp. Since I moved 2.5 years ago, she has visited me twice. This past August, we had so much fun, and I never wanted her to leave. We got caught up on each other's lives, and I tried to introduce her to everyone. A part of me needs her to know what is going on in my life, because she always has. Halloween is empty, and at my 16th birthday party, I honestly felt like someone was missing. We still talk almost every single day. Our Facebook message has been sent back and forth hundreds of times, with details of a volleyball tournament or the excitement of a dance. We still send each other birthday gifts, and text each other when something happens that reminds us of our past. Growing up as the only child in my house, I have always regarded Annie as not just my best friend for the past 13 years, but my sister. No matter how much distance separates us now, I know we will always be close. On my wedding day, I know she'll be right by my side, and I can already see her being my children's second mother. I think of Annie when I read this quote. Time passes, life happens, distance separates, children grow up, jobs come and go, love waxes and wanes. Men don't do what they're supposed to do, hearts break, parents die, colleagues forget favors, careers end. But sisters are there no matter how much time and how many miles are between you. A girlfriend is never farther away than needing her can reach. When you have to walk that lonesome valley, and you have to walk it by yourself, the women in your life will be on the valley's rim, cheering you on, praying for you, pulling for you, intervening on your behalf, and waiting with open arms at the valley's end. Sometimes they will even break the rules and walk beside you, or come in and carry you out. I am so incredibly blessed to have Annie in my life. She has never failed to make me laugh or be there for me when I needed her. I don't think she will ever understand how much I truly love her. She is one in a million, and someday I have to thank her for everything. Wherever life takes me, I can be sure that someone special is holding my hand.